Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute since I've done a review of something, but today I'm going to be reviewing something extra special for you all. So this is Sgt Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but it's not just any copy of Sgt Peppers by the Beatles. This is a mono US pressing of Sgt Peppers. Now y'all may not care much, but the story behind this is really interesting. So this Beatles album came out in 1967 when stereo was first becoming a thing. Just for y'all that don't know, stereo is like when you hear a song through your headphones, you can hear instruments coming out through one ear and through the other, and you get to hear different instruments through your ears and vocals and stuff. Well, stereo was just becoming a brand new thing in 1967 when this album here came out. And since they were only using 4 tracks, it was very limited. When you hear the stereo mix, you hear all the instruments coming out through one ear and then vocals on another. And I mean, that's not really the best experience, but mono at the time was still pretty hot. For those who don't know what mono is when all the instruments come out through one speaker. You hear everything at once, and that's how this album was intended to be heard. It's like John Lennon once said, you haven't really heard Sgt Peppers until you've heard it in mono. And what I have found here for only $25 at a retro store near me is very old Capitol Records mono copy of Sgt Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And let me tell you, the people that say it's better in mono are not lying. It sounds so much better in mono. It's very dreamy and trust me, it's definitely something worth checking out, whether you're checking out a download, which by the way, if any of you can find a mono vinyl of this album, definitely run with it. And just to help you identify if this is a mono version of Sgt Pepper's so that you don't get confused and end up with a stereo copy, you see the thing right over here, the label of dit disc. If you look closely, if you see the thing that says MAS 2653 on it, that's how you know it's mono. But if it says SMAS means it's stereo. And I also have a stereo copy, which I'll pull out right now in just a second. This here, hold on. This here, guys, is a stereo copy of Sgt Pepper's that I have right here, which was actually the first copy I had before I found that mono one. Yeah, I just had to get it up real quick. But as you can see, the label is a little different. I mean, it's an Apple Records label. And hold on, let me put the more visible side for you. You can see right here, the thing that says SMAS means it's a stereo copy, not a mono copy, a stereo copy. And that's the one that has the instruments coming out through both sides. But let me tell you, I've heard this album plenty of times. Let me put this back and tell you. I've heard this record plenty of times, but let me tell you, until I heard it in mono, it was a whole different experience for me. And I guarantee if you listen to this in mono or find an old vinyl rip, because that's where the magic really is, they have it available for downloads on the internet and stuff, and YouTube videos of this album in mono. But until you've really heard it through a vinyl record in mono, you haven't heard Sgt Pepper's. And John certainly was right. And let me tell you a fun fact about the production. When they finished recording this record and they were mixing it, the Beatles were there along with the producers to make sure it sounded perfect in mono, and they spent tons of time giving attention to the mono mix. And then that was done, but then the stereo mix, the band was not there to supervise, and it was kind of a rushed production. So if anything, they gave a lot more detail into the mono version than they did for the stereo version. So that right there is the best way you can listen to Sgt. Peppers. And I found that for only $25. It's an amazing experience, let me tell you. And I hope y'all enjoyed this educational video. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. If you are at a thrift store or at an old record store or an old vintage stuff store and you find a copy of Sgt. Peppers and you check the label that says MAS, that's how you'll know you're getting a mono copy and you'll be getting an experience. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos, and stay tuned for my live streams. I'm trying to do a lot more IRL streams, so please stay tuned for that. Bye.